never recovering from this book, I don't think.
What the hell is going on? Am I a red flag? Am I toxic?
I fear I love him already.
I ruin it for myself.
This is crazy. I feel sick to my stomach just thinking about my theory.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Asia, nice to meet you. As you read from the title, I really want to start reading more authors and out of my comfort zone. So I thought I'd start reading books from authors I've never read before. One author that I've heard so much about that I've never ever read is Abby Jimenez. And I own 2 of her books and I've never read any of her books, and she's been out and about and people have been talking about her for a while now, and people really love her books. Everyone really like Yours Truly and Just for the Summer, and Yours Truly is the second book of this because I think they're like interconnected standalones. So I thought I own the first one, so I'm gonna read this as my first book from an author I've never read because I really want to read Yours Truly. So that'd be perfect. And this is the first book. So this is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. It's gonna be a spoiler-free reading vlog, so I'm very excited. Let's give it a go. I'm gonna start reading now.
I am 17 pages in. I fear I love him already. He's perfect. He's so cute, and he's talking about a kid. He's like, I have to go home and feed the kid. So you'd think it's a child, but I see a goat there. I see a little goat. So I assume he has a goat. That makes him so much better. So far, the writing style, of course, I only literally read 3 chapters, but the writing style is very easy and very quick to read.
It is the day after. I have been reading Part of Your World. I am loving it so far. It's so easy. I'm 75 pages in. It's so fun and easy. It just goes so quick. And it's odd because they are kind of like already, it was insta attraction. Like by chapter 1, they already like slept together. So I don't know where this is going, because they obviously already like each other and they're meeting for the second time, but I haven't read anything else, so like I'm just at the beginning. But like it's very insta thing, but I don't mind. I usually hate that. I don't mind it. Her writing style is just, the only word that I can think of is easy. I already love him. I really like both characters. I think one thing for me is, for romance books, I don't care about the plot that much. I care about the characters more. And if I don't like the main characters, I'm not gonna like the book. I like both of them. They're both very likable, and I thought I'd hate the fact that she's 10 years older. I'm not. I don't hate it at all. I don't care. Yay. I'm gonna read a little bit more. I'm gonna eat my food and read a little bit more. They're like, I don't know what they're constructing at freaking 10 p.m. What the hell is going on? I'll go back to reading this. So I am on chapter 20 right now, and I enjoy them, but not as much as I did at the beginning, because they got kind of boring quite quick because they just stayed together. And like, I can't really deal with insta love that well, and they are staying together apparently. The only problem that they have, it's they're very different society-wise, like their lives are very different. I don't know if I told you the main plot about it, but it's 2 people, obviously. She is a surgeon, comes from a very rich family full of surgeons. They're very acclaimed, very known, very famous, very successful. And her parents are not the best, especially the dad. He really cares about work and society and opinions and being a doctor. That's all he cares about. He doesn't really care about her happiness or what she wants or what she likes. And she has like a very difficult situation back home because she has an ex-fiance who cheated on her, and he's a dick. That's all I can say. He's a dick. Instead, he comes from a family that isn't as rich, and he owns a hotel, like an Airbnb kind of thing. They meet because he helps her with her car, and then they sleep together. They have a one-night stand, and then she actually can't stop thinking about him, so they go back and forth. She's always said, oh, this is nothing serious, we're just gonna hang out for a bit and then we're gonna stop. But obviously feelings got involved, and she is 10 years older than him.
he's so sweet. I love him. And she's fun. She's like feisty. She has a very difficult situation back home with her parents and her ex-fiance, and her friends are just not nice. And he has very lovely small town situation with so many friends, and the whole town loves him because he's so cute. How can you not love him? The biggest problem is they have such different lives, but they've been in love since literally day one. So I don't know where this is going, but we'll see. We'll keep reading. We'll see. Hello. So I am on chapter 29. I haven't spoken to you in a hot minute. I went to the Era store a couple of times since I had my birthday week. I made a whole vlog about it, so if you want to go and check it out, it's right there. But I am on chapter 29. So I have this much left. Not much. I think I might finish it today, you know? I'm almost done with it. So far, it's not been my favorite book of all time, my favorite romance of all time, because not the writing style. The writing style I really enjoy. It's very quick and easy to read. Very Emily Henry kind of vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like, the writing style reminds me of Emily Henry, which I love. So great. But unfortunately, the couple is not my favorite in the world. I really like them, but they kind of like boring. Because they got together very quickly on, because that's the whole point. They had like a one night stand and then it turned into more, but it was very quick. They started liking each other on day one. There was no enemying, which I think for me it's kind of essential. I love an enemies to lovers, and this is just not that. The problem that they have, it's not each other. The problem is like the circumstances. They're very different, like society wise. Like, one is very rich, one is not rich at all. They live quite far apart as well, and she's older than him, almost a decade older, which doesn't really bother me at all. I thought it would, but he's very mature for his age, so it's quite nice. But yeah, they got together very easily, and I think now there's gonna be like the classic third act breakup, which I always dislike. But I mean, I don't want to speak too soon. They haven't broken up yet, but you know when you can feel it. Yeah, they just liked each other from day one. I want a bit of dislike. I want a bit of fighting. I want, like, there's not been 1 second of them disagreeing. Am I a red flag? Am I toxic? Okay, it's just been okay so far, but it's not her writing style. So I think I'm gonna enjoy her other books. It's just this couple was okay. Nothing crazy, but I haven't finished it, so maybe it's gonna have a great ending. I just came back from central London. It is so warm in London right now. I don't know what's going on. In my head, we were already in a Gilmore Girls vibe, but we're still in an Outer Banks vibe right now. It's summer in London right now, which is nice. On the tube, I finished Part of Your World. It wasn't my favorite book I've ever read. Not my favorite romance I've ever read. It was okay, it was nice, it was lovely. I think it was just not my kind of romance. I'm not really into like the very cheesy. I kind of felt a bit cringy at times. I cringed out loud once. It was well written. I just didn't enjoy the couple itself. And the epilogue, I think, made it so much worse, because I think it was going to be a 3.75 for me until I read the epilogue. I don't really love epilogues in general for romance books. It was just very predictable. But you know, romance books are like that. So I didn't want to give it any less than 3.5 because I really enjoyed her writing. I enjoyed the other characters, the side characters. So I feel I will enjoy Yours Truly and Just for the Summer. And everyone loves those 2 books. So I have high hopes for those other 2 books. It was okay. It was an okay book. As a first time reading her, I enjoyed it. I would read another one of her books, but it wasn't my favorite book of all time. The next author that I wanted to read, I thought I'd start The Silent Patient. This is another one of those books that a lot of people have read, and I've heard so many things about it, and I had never read it. I kind of want to make 3 different genres for the 3 different authors that I'm reading for this video. So we just did a romance. Let's do a thriller. I'm gonna read The Silent Patient, and the author is Alex Michaelides. I've never read any of these books. I studied it on the tube, so I haven't read much. I read 34 pages, actually more than I thought. I am really enjoying it so far, but I really have only read 30 pages, so I can't really tell you much. I'm really like on the intro part. Like,
introduce like the main character and the silent patient. So he is a psychotherapist. He decided to accept a new job where this woman, who was a very famous painter, is kept because 6 years ago she shot her husband many times in the face and then tried to kill herself. And then since then she hasn't spoken a word. So they think, oh, she must be mad. So instead of sending her to jail, they send her to this mental health institute. And he goes to work there just because he wants to meet her. He wants to be his doctor. That's where I got to. This is all I've had so far. But I really enjoy the writing style so far. Like, very good. I really enjoyed it. And a lot of my friends have read this and said they found it very good. And it's like a very great plot twist at one point. So I'm really excited. I haven't read a thriller in a hot minute. And I feel like I need it right now. I need a bit of variety. So I'm really, really excited about it. Our second new author for me is Alex Michaelides. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Hello, so I've read a little bit more. I don't remember the last time I updated you where I was, but I am on page 140. So I'm like approaching halfway, and I'm gonna read more tonight because it just got very good. The last chapter I read, whew, most of you have probably read this or heard of it because it's very popular. I've had it for a long time and I've never picked it up. But then I saw someone doing a review of this and saying it was the biggest plot twist I've ever heard of. So I'm very excited because I love a plot twist, because I think I'm quite good at predicting plot twists, and that ruins it for me. I ruin it for myself because I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen, and then it happens and I'm like, oh. In the book there's some diary entries from Alicia's, like, before she killed her husband, because this is what the public thinks, and I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened. We'll see. And the diary entry I just read was crazy, and there's like a new character involved now that got brought in, so I'm excited. Plain. So far I really love the writing style. Love it. Like, you know, I am that girl that I'm scared to read books written by men. I'm that girl. This is well written. This is so well written. It sets the scene so perfectly and describes people so well. So I'm really excited. I hope I cannot predict a thing. I hope everything I predict is so wrong. Fingers crossed. I'm reading this book. I have a crazy theory, if I'm correct. I kind of want to tell you so I have proof that I have a theory, but I don't want to spoil you the book. I feel sick to my stomach just thinking about my theory. I need to be quiet because my housemate is sleeping. I'm finishing this book right now because I feel like that's it. I feel like I cracked the code. I can always predict everything. I'm telling you. Didn't I tell you? So I'm gonna keep reading and we're gonna find out if this is true. I'm so scared. I wasn't completely right. I wasn't completely right. I was a bit right. Not completely right. This is crazy. I just finished it. Genius. Genius. I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow when my housemates are not sleeping and I have calmed down because I'm on a high from reading it. Hello everyone. It is 8 a.m. It's been a couple of days since I finished The Silent Patient. I'm still of the opinion that it was very good. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed that I got some things right. Like, I got, you know, a theory right, but it wasn't completely right, so still got a bit surprised. For once I didn't get everything right, so it was nice. I decided the third book for this video is gonna be The Nightingale. I have a book club with my 3 best friends. How fun, how incredible is that, by the way? Like, me and my 3 best friends have a book club. That's literally my dream. For the month of September, we decided to read The Nightingale because we tried to do a different genre every month. So now it was time for like an historical fiction. I started it yesterday and I'm on chapter 8. But 2 of the 3 girls in my friend group have finished it. Like Emily literally finished it yesterday, and both of them were crying their eyes out. Both of them were distraught after finishing this book. So I'm so excited, because I don't know if I told you, I've been looking forward to reading a sad book. Like, I need to cry. Do you ever feel the need to cry? I feel the need to cry, and I want to read a good chunk of it today. But I have a big issue. I'm rewatching The Vampire Diaries, and it's so good. I'm on the peak The Vampire Diaries moment, because I'm on the beginning of season 3. Nothing will ever compare to season 3 of The Vampire Diaries, I fear. So I literally, every time I start reading, I'm like, I just want to watch The Vampire Diaries. But we're gonna read a lot of it today. I have a day off. So far, it's very good. If you don't know what it is about, it's about the Second World War in France, in 1940, and it's the point of view of two sisters. One is an 18-year-old, the other one is 26, 27. The 18-year-old is like, I want to go to war and fight, and you know, and the older one has a daughter, so she just wants to be safe at home, you know, taking care of her daughter, and her husband is at the front. So far it was mainly like an introduction to them and the situation with the war. Nothing like crazy has happened. I'm not an easy crier at all. Maybe I won't find it sad, but lately I've been emotional about everything. I literally cried this morning watching a TikTok about an old man. So really, realistically, I probably will cry. The third author is Kristen Hanna. This is my first ever Kristen Hanna's book, and I think this is probably her most famous one. I love that it's in third person, so you get the point of view of both sisters. I love that. So I am on chapter 17 of The Nightingale. So far it's extremely well written. It's so nice. It's just, it flows very easily. It's in third person and it switches between the two sisters very seemingly. Like it works very nice. It's not that heavy yet. Obviously it's not lighthearted. It's about the Second World War. It's not fun and games, but it's not extremely heavy so far. It just talks about their lives and their different decisions. They have very different personalities. Obviously, Isabel, which is the youngest sister, she's 19 and she wants to save the world and change the world, and she wants to fight in the war, and she actually does. She's out there making a difference. She is out there risking her life, making a difference. And Vian, instead, she's home with her daughter. But it doesn't mean that she's less brave. She's just chose a different path. And at the moment, she has a German captain living in her house. Her husband is off in the war. So it's literally now just her, the captain, and Sophie, the little girl. Because Isabel is gone to Paris to, you know, help and make a difference and change the world and fight, and she's doing it so far. Like, she is insanely brave. I don't know what I would do. I know we are all very lucky that we don't have to ask that, because I'd love to think that I could go out and fight, and not fight like fight, but like go out and make a difference and, you know, risk my life to like get the right message out there. But I think I would just try to be as invisible as possible just to survive. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what kind of sister I would be, which I think is the whole point of this book. It just shows you it's not really how you face it, it's just the fact that you faced it. Do you know what I mean? They're both making it in different ways, completely different personality and different paths, but they're doing it. Yeah, I'm really interested in how it goes, how it evolves. I'm on chapter 17 right now. It feels nice because at the same time you're reading a book and you're entertained, but you're kind of learning. Like, if you don't remember much from school, from history class, you're kind of learning. Because I guess when you hear stories of war, you hear the men, you hear the soldiers at the front line, you know, fighting. But you don't really get the women's point of view of these big events, because they were just overlooked, because they were just home waiting for their husbands. But they're not just home waiting for their husbands. They're, you know, Isabel is doing a difference, and even Bian, that is home waiting for her husband, she's going through stuff because she has no money. It's cold. She has to take care of her child. Her work is going through things. She has a German soldier living like in her house, and he's being very respectful, to be fair, so far. But you know, it's the enemy, and they're not just home waiting. You know, there's so much more to that, and I think that's the whole point of this book, is to make you to show you that women didn't just like wait around. So I'm like approaching halfway. Yeah, it's very good. It's very long. It looks small, but like the American version is very big, which is what I think would suit better, because this one just has very, very small font. So far I'm really enjoying it. It's just very well written. It's just a very good book so far. It is 9 a.m. Literally 9 a.m. and I'm crying. I fear this is like the beginning of tears and there's no end. Something just very, very sad just happened. Just very, 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 very sad. I knew I was gonna cry, but I didn't think I was gonna cry from now until the end. Like, I have so many pages left. I am on chapter 35 out of 39. This got heavy quick. I mean, it's been heavy the whole time, obviously. Obviously, it talks about war. It's not gonna be all cute and fuzzy, but it got so heavy and so sad. Obviously, like, it was gonna get there, but like, I don't know how is it gonna end. I've got no clue, which is fun to not know what's happening, but it's just not fun to read. And it's worse because you know this shit happened, and it just makes you spiral. I love the way everything evolved. Everything worked out. The way it was narrated, the way it was described, the way that the two sisters acted and how they grew and how they matured and how they changed with the war was phenomenal. I love this so much. The writing style is incredible. It's just heavy now. Also, I love how they talk about relationships, family relationships, friendships, like love relationships in the war, how these things change and how it's different. It's different the way you act during the war. You are changed, and especially like the sisterhood happening, how they're so different, but at the end they're really like the same. What the fuck? Chris and Hannah, what are you doing? I'm never recovering from this book, I don't think. Okay. It was a 5-star read. Read this book at your own risk. You know, up to you. If you want to do this to yourself, I would strongly recommend to read it. It's tough, it's rough, it's heavy, obviously. It's a great book. The way it's written, described, narrated is incredible. It's just so heavy. Because you just remember that it's real. That's what makes it so much worse. If you want to cry, this is perfect. This is the book for you. I might cry myself to sleep tonight. It just happens sometimes. Wow, these are 3 very different books. But one thing for sure is I'm gonna read more of her books, for sure. not now, because now I need the most light-hearted, silly, cheesy rom-com ever existed. But yeah, I will definitely be reading more from her, 100%. Good morning. So it is the morning after. I can confirm I almost cried myself to sleep. It happens. This was a fun vlog to film. It was 3 very different books. We had a romance, we had an historical fiction, and then we had a thriller. So it was very varied. 2 of these were 5 stars, which is incredible. I hadn't had a 5-star in so long, and then I had 2 back to back, which is such a good feeling. I don't know what to read next. I need something lighthearted because that was too much. So yes, I just wanted to tell you, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe like every time. I will see you in my next video, because hopefully I'll see you there. And have a great rest of your day. I love you. Go and read these books. Ciao.